פרק חמישי. ביצה, פרק חמישי, משנה א', 5th chapter, first משנה. משילין פירות דרך ערובה ביום טוב. You're allowed to throw down fruits through a skylight on Yom Tov.
Chimney.
Yeah, chimney, but chimney means skylight. It means opening in the roof. It doesn't mean full.
Throw it down.
Yeah.
The guy down there.
That's right. But what's the case? What's the case? The case is, again, they don't want you to walk on Yom Tov, extra walk. So this is what it says. מי שיש לו פירות שטוחים על גגו להתייבש. This was the custom. Since they didn't have refrigeration, what do you do with the extra fruit? You want to keep them to the entire year, so you dry them up on the roof. So somebody has dried, usually that's what they used to do. They put the fruits, like figs or whatever, on the roof for the sun to dry them. And then what did he see? וראה גשמים ממשמשים ובאים. This is Yom Tov, and he wakes up and he hears thunder. It's about to rain. Now you're thinking, wow, it's going to rain on my fruits. That's it, it's all gone. I've been drying them. Now with the rain, everything is going to get spoiled. שעלולים הם לקלקל את הפירות. In other words, the rain is going to destroy or hurt the fruit. מותר לו להשליך ביום טוב את הפירות דרך הערובה שבגג לתוך הבית. He is allowed to throw on Yom Tov the fruits through the skylight that's in the roof into the house. By the way, the word aruba, we use it as chimney, but it's any opening. Yeah, it's any opening. ודווקא, and this is the rule, דווקא דרך ערובה. In other words, it's only you're allowed to do it through a skylight. Why? שאין טרחה יתרה. Because that's the easy way. When there's a skylight on the roof, you just throw everything down, right, into the hole, and everything comes down. You don't have to carry, you don't have to think, just sweep it into it. שאין טרחה יתרה. It's not too much work. אבל דרך חלון, but let's say your roof is over here, it has a wall around it, and then there's another, you bought a second floor, and you have a window over here. You will not be allowed to take the fruit and through the window into the house, because then you have to collect, to pick up, it's too much work. אבל דרך חלון, כגון גג המוקף כתלים, ויש חלונות בכתלים, for example, if the roof has walls around it, and then there's a second floor right next to it with a window, ויכול להשליחם דרך חלון לביתו, and is able to throw them through the window to his house, הואיל והוא צריך להגביה את הפירות. Over here he has to pick up the fruit already, not just sweep them in quickly. עד החלון, כדי להשליחם משם, he needs to pick them up to the window in order to throw it from them, הרי זו טרחה יתרה. This is considered to be extra work, ובחגון זה לא יתירו חכמים. And as such, the sages did not allow you to do it. So it's called, if you're going to lose a lot of money for the fruits, if you need to do it, if you can do it easily, just sweep it out through the hole, takes 2 seconds, they allow you to starting and making a moving company from place to place, pick them up. That you're not allowed to, even on Yom Tov, even if you're going to lose a lot of money, you're not allowed to. This is only on Yom Tov you're allowed to do it through the chimney. On Shabbat, you're not allowed to at all. אבל לא בשבת. But on Shabbat you're not allowed to do. אפילו בדרך ערובה אין משילים פירות בשבת. Even through the ערובה, even through the skylight, you're not allowed to do on Shabbat. So in Shabbat you don't even טרחה קטנה is not allowed. And the reason is because Yom Tov you can scream and shout אוכל נפש. Over Shabbat you don't even have that. So we don't even need a heter for a nefesh, so we don't even give you a heter at all on Shabbat.
Well, ochel nefesh, he had to have in mind that you wanted to eat it.
Oh, so over here, even here, he didn't have in mind, because it's a lot of money you're going to lose, and it's not a lot of work, they still allow you.
To put it in the house, but he didn't say to eat it.
To eat it? Maybe not, but to save it. Yeah,
bring it in.
Yeah, to bring it in, you're allowed to save it. ומכסים פירות בכלים מפני הדלף. Also, if you have fruits in your house and you have a small leak, click, 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 for the thing, and you want to protect the storage house, the corner in your house that you have the storage, you're allowed to cover it with a vessel. מהגשמים הנוטפים מהגג, from the water that comes from the roof, שכדי למנוע הפסד ממון, once you're going to have a loss over here, שלא יתקלקלו, that they're not going to get spoiled, התירו חכמים לחסותם ביום טוב בכלים. The sage says you're allowed to cover them on יום טוב with vessels. וכן כדי יין וכדי שמן. And also pots of wine and pots of oil. מכסים אותם מפני הדלף. You're allowed to cover them from the drips. אף על פי שאין בהם אלא הפסד מועט. Even though it's not really a big loss, it gets a little bit dirty and then you have to clean it. It's not the end of the world. יש מבארים בגמרא, there are those who says in the Gemara, שמשנתנו בא להשמיע, why wouldn't you think wine and oil? So it says, the Mishnah says, you wouldn't think wine and oil, I'll tell you why. The Mishnah comes to teach you, שאפילו בכדי יין ובכדי שמן שם תבל, even if this wine and oil is tevel, which means you didn't tithe them, which means it's completely out of the boundary, even them you're allowed to protect. They're not food. You're not allowed to eat them. Even for Yom Tov you cannot say it's food, but still you're allowed to cover them. מכל מקום מותר לכסותם בכלים פני הדפת, nevertheless you're allowed to cover them. שכלי שניטל אפילו לצורך דבר שאינו ניטל. Because once you're allowed to use this vessel for regular fruit, you'll be allowed to use the same vessel for tevel fruit. Okay. Another thing, ונותנים כלי תחת הדלף בשבת. What you are allowed to do in Shabbat, if you have rain coming down from the roof, you're allowed to put a cup or a bucket underneath it. Now, why you wouldn't be allowed to? Because we discussed it before. For example, oil that drips, you're not allowed to put something underneath it in Shabbat, because then you're not allowed to move now the vessel, and you it's like breaking the vessel. You're saying this vessel may not be moved again on Shabbat because it has oil in it. So over here, why you're allowed to? Because it's water, and water you are allowed to drink on Shabbat, but it's water that you didn't think about it beforehand. So what's going on over here? So we need to understand exactly what's going on. ונותנים כלי תחת הדלף בשבת, and you put a vessel under the drips on Shabbat. לקבל את המים הנוטפים מן הגג לתוך הבית. To receive the water that is dripping into the house. כדי שלא יתלכלך הבית. Because you're protecting the house from getting wet. דבר זה מותר אפילו בשבת. This we allow you to do even in Shabbat. ואין צורך לומר ביום טוב. How much more so on יום טוב you're allowed to? ואמרו בגמרא, and the Gemara says even further, שאם נתמלא הכלי, שופכה ושונה ואינו נמנע. It says that if you see the vessel becomes full, pour it out and put it back. יש מפרשים, there are those who explains, שדווקא בדלף הראוי לשנייה. You're only allowed to do it if you can drink this water. Because then you can say it's for drinking. או לרחיצה, כגון מים צלולים. Or if not drinking, at least you can wash with it. מותר ליתן כלי תחתיו. You're allowed to put a vessel underneath. אבל בדפל שאינו ראוי, but if it's disgusting water that's coming down, then there's nothing for you to do. Then you're not allowed to move the vessel itself. Then you wouldn't be allowed to do it. אסור ליתן כלי תחתיו. If it's disgusting water, you're not allowed to put a vessel underneath it. שאסור לבטל כלי מלחנו. Because then there's no use for it. And what are you doing? You are destroying the keli. You're saying like this keli may not be touched on Shabbat or Yom Tov. והרמב"ם אוסר מטעם אחר. The Rambam explains it prohibits it from another reason. לפי שאין עושים גרף של ראי לכתחילה בשבת. He says because you're making garbage on Shabbos. He says you're not allowed to make garbage on Shabbos. Here you're making a place of garbage on Shabbos. That's what you're doing. You're collecting garbage on Shabbos. You're not allowed to, according to the Rambam. Okay, maybe he's going to explain to us why it's allowed even in Shabbos. מה ששנינו, the thing that we learned, ומכסים פירות בכלים מפני הדלף, וכן כדי יין וכדי שמן, that you're allowed to take a vessel and protect your food, באנו שמדובר הוא ביום טוב כמו ברשע. We explained that we're talking about it on יום טוב. וכן משמע מתוך פירוש רש"י, and this is what Rashi explains. ודעת הרמב"ן והר"ן כרש"י, and the Ramban and the Ran says כרש"י, it's only on יום טוב. אבל הראש מפרש שתיבת בשבת שבסוף שיטתנו, מסווג גם על ההלכה של כיסוי הפירות. But the Rosh says that it's not only in יום טוב, it's also on Shabbos, that first part. שאפילו בשבת מותר לכסות את הפרים בכלי בני הדלף וכי כדיין וכדי שמן, that so in other words, the question is in the first part is only Yom Tov or also Yom Tov on Shabbos?
Shabbos, you can do it on Shabbos.
Yes. Also the first part of the Mishnah, not just the second part.
Yeah,
Yeah.